Hello and welcome guys to a new episode on Sport Predictor Fanatic. Today we're gonna review my predictions of the Euros with the group stages, 1/8 finals, the quarterfinals, the semifinals and the finals. See how I predict. We're gonna see how many percent I got right, how many percent overall I got right. The group stage I'm gonna do a little bit different because it's really hard to only the top two really matters for that basically, or maybe the top three, but I'm gonna do the top two because those went straight through. So we're just gonna start with Group A. I got only one out of the two in the top two right. I of course had Germany in the top two, but I actually had Scotland as the other one in the top two at Group A. But I was completely wrong about that. I mean, they became last with only 1 point out of all three matches. Yeah, I didn't expect because the other place was Switzerland. And I actually didn't expect Switzerland to play that good, but they played great the whole tournament. They maybe should have gone further than they did, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, no. Group A, I had a little bit bad. I'm gonna say the group stages were not my stages. Because at Group B, I also had only one of the two in the top two right. I was right in putting Spain as number one. But Croatia at second was wrong, although I must say I do think they deserved to be at two instead of Italy. But I mean, it was Italy who became second, so I can't really say much about it. Italy didn't play great, Croatia didn't play great. It is what it is. I got it wrong. Then Group C, I was right with my top two, being it England and Denmark. But yeah, I didn't expect this group to be this close, with England having only 5 points and with Denmark only having 3 points and actually have a tie with Slovenia, but still came second. But yeah, I didn't expect it to be that close in that group. It's mainly, of course, due to Italy underperforming. If England had just performed, the whole group would have looked differently because then England would have had 9 points from the group. But yeah, it is what it is. I was at least right, so I'm happy with that. Then Group D, I only got one right, and that was of course France. I thought the other ones would be Netherlands, but they actually lost their last match against Austria, which was like the battle for first, second, and third. Yeah, and Austria actually won that match like 3-2 in a freaking fun match. But yeah, Austria were of course the shock being the number one of that group, but at least I was right with France. I think France and Netherlands just underperformed a little bit there, especially France, because I expected more from them than the Netherlands, but the Netherlands also did a little bit, of course. And then Group E. Also here, I was only right about one of the two. And I was, of course, right with Belgium at the top two. But it was way closer than I expected. The whole group ended with 4 points, which is crazy. And with that, actually, Romania became first in that group, which was also like crazy because I think they never gone through to a knockout phase. So that was really cool for them. They also deserved it. They played pretty good. And I think Belgium are pretty lucky because they played bad. But yeah, Group F, I had the top two totally right. Yeah, I was right 100% about Portugal and Turkey. But I actually expected Turkey and Georgia and Czech Republic, well, mainly Turkey and Czech Republic to be closer and Portugal to beat everyone, but that didn't really happen. Portugal ended up on 6 points, Turkey ended up with 6 points. I think Georgia ended up with 4 and Czech ended up on 1 point. I actually expected Czech Republic to do better than that, but they didn't, and those two actually went through. Then the 1/8 finals. I was actually wrong about 25%, so 2 out of the 8 matches I was wrong about, the other 6 I was right about. We're just gonna go through them all. First, Swiss-Italy. Yeah, I was wrong about this one. I predicted Italy would win this, but it would be a close match. Well, I was totally wrong about it. It wasn't a close match, and freaking Switzerland dominated the match. Yeah, and they deservedly won that match, easy as that. But I should have known better because Switzerland were so much better in the group stages. I just expected Italy to turn up at the group stages, at the knockout phase, but they didn't. With that, I got this one wrong. Then it was actually Germany against Denmark. I predict Germany due to them playing just better at the group stage, looking much better than Denmark. And I was right about this, of course. Then it was England against Slovakia. I predicted England to win because of their class. And I was kind of right because they did win because of personal class. But they didn't win because of class as a team. Because I think we all know why they went through. They scored a 95th overhead kick with Jude Bellingham, and in the 91st minute of the extra time, so actually the first minute of extra time, they scored 2-1, and well, with Kane, and won because of that. But I mean, it wasn't great. They were looking great at that point. But I was right, so I'm happy about it. And then it was Spain against Georgia. I, of course, predicted Spain would win this, and I was, of course, totally right with that. Georgia actually played good, played well, actually started off really well with a 1-0, but then Spain in the second half just overclassed them, coming back from 1-0 down to 4-1, I think it was. Yeah, Spain were just on fire. We already knew that. And then it was France against Belgium. I predicted France due to them being just a better team. And I was right, but I didn't expect such a freaking boring match. I'm sorry to say, but that's just all I have to say. And then it was Portugal against Slovenia. I predicted Portugal, and of course I was right, but it was a very freaking close match. Of course, highlighted with, well, first the penalty miss of Ronaldo in extra time, which of course could have avoided the penalty kicks later on. But at the penalty kicks later on, the keeper of Portugal, Costa, saved 3 out of the 3 penalty shots, and with that made sure they were through, which was actually crazy to watch. That was actually crazy to watch, having 3 out of 3 saves in a penalty shootout at the 1/8 finals of European Championship is crazy. And the next matchup was Romania against Netherlands. Well, I expected Netherlands to win, and I think everyone expected Netherlands to win. And I mean, they put up a good performance. I think maybe their best match until then. And well, they certainly won that quite easily. And the last match I was wrong about. I predicted Austria to win against Turkey. But Turkey actually played better football, and with a goal with the goal in the first minute, that really helped them. I think play their game style. I was just wrong about that. But I mean, it was a close match in the end. But wrong is wrong. And the quarterfinals, I also had 75% good hair and only 25% wrong. That means 1 wrong, 3 right. I actually predicted Spain against Germany right, with Spain winning. And I think they played pretty okay. It was not the best, but I think they played pretty okay, better than Germany at least. And well, they did well in scoring the winner in 190th minute, which is of course 1 minute before the end. But yeah, I think it was deserved though. And then Portugal against France. I predicted France would win, and it did, but it was a boring one. It was a boring 0-0, and they won boringly on penalties. Like, yeah, it's exciting to watch the penalties because it's just like tense, but it's not really that exciting, is it? Like the matchup itself. Then was England against Switzerland. I actually expected Switzerland, and I think they actually deserved to get this win. And then I mean Switzerland. Um, but yeah, England after the 1-0 from Switzerland, England made 1-1. And also, I found it a pretty boring match, I must be honest. And England actually won that on penalties. And then it was time for Netherlands against Turkey. I predicted the Netherlands to win, and I was right with that. Turkey began great with a 1-0, but then the Netherlands in the second half came back to win the game with 2-1. I must say I was like, this match is high on my list of best matches this tournament, but that's also because I was at a festival at the time, and I was watching it like on a big in the Netherlands, by the way, because I'm from the Netherlands, and I was watching it on a big screen with like so many people, which was really fun. Um, but yeah, third match, I think Netherlands deservedly go through. And then we come on to the semi-finals. Well, I actually predicted one of the semi-finals wrong. But we'll get that in a second, because first the one I was right about, Spain against France. I predicted Spain to win, and I think they deservedly did get the win. I was really happy with this because in the final I actually wanted Spain against the Netherlands, like the final in 2010, and actually think both teams deserve it more than like England and France, because they just play more fun football. I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, Spain went through on to win, deservingly so, played well, let's go. But then the Netherlands, England, which broke my heart. England finally played like one good half, because actually only the first half England was better, right? And not even the whole half, just the second half of the first half they were better. But I think the Netherlands got better chances, but I predicted this wrong. Maybe I predicted it wrong also because I didn't think rationally, but mostly with my heart being for the Netherlands. And I still think I'm still screwed up with England getting that penalty. Not because I don't think it's a foul from Dumfries, because it is. It definitely is. But the handsball from Saka before it's just a shambles. It actually is. But it is what it is. England got the win with the last minute winner and got through to the final. And in the final, Spain against England, I was 100% right. I predicted Spain to win, and I was actually hoping for them to win, as they played so much better this whole tournament, played fun matches, fun football, just were the better team. And I'm really happy that they got this win. They played really well in the final. I was actually watching with like a friend group of mine, which was really fun. The match wasn't. The first half was really boring, actually. I think, yeah, the first half was really boring. Second half was a little bit better, and Spain, yeah, just deservingly won, for sure. So yeah, actually, my overall, like, I got 73% good at the knockout stage, and I didn't do a reckoning for the group stage because it's a little bit harder to do with top two, but at least at the knockout stage I got 73% good, which I think is pretty okay. It's not the best, could have been better, but it is what it is. But I actually I did enjoy the tournament, but also not. What I think was really wrong about the tournament was that 4 out of the 6 third places actually went through. So that's actually one problem I had with it. But the other problem I had with it was, yeah, just a lack of courage of some of the top teams like England, France. They just played really bad, and actually, I'm gonna say Portugal and maybe the Netherlands. Maybe I think the Netherlands played fun football apart from their match against France, but it's maybe also due to France. And I think Portugal played. Um, they played sometimes fun, sometimes not. It was really hard to see, but um, yeah, no, I think mainly England and France just ruined the tournament. Gonna be honest, they played some boring ass football, and one of the teams got through the semifinals and won to the final. So that's shit. Like I want to fun. Like Austria played really fun football. Switzerland played fun football. Turkey played really fun football. Spain played really fun football. Germany actually played fun football until they went out. Um, those teams like were my heroes, and of course teams like Romania and all, like Georgia, Albania, actually also they played like all right. Like it was actually a fun tournament. Gonna be honest, but um, just a bit underwhelming from the top teams, basically. Um, but yeah, with that, I'm gonna end my review here. So I wanna thank you all for watching. Please have a good day, and I'll see you.